Hey guys, Thetcglover here. Today's video is going to be talking about Divine Judgment of the Spellbooks. I haven't really wanted to talk about this card because there's a lot to talk about and there's a lot to take in from it. It's quite a powerful card. A lot of YouTubers have taken it upon themselves to have a little talk about them, and I thought if I start talking about it, it will just be one of the hundreds of YouTubers that are talking about this card, because in the next 3 months it's going to take a deck that is actually getting really good and pushes it beyond its limits, beyond the limit of any deck I've ever seen. It's an incredible card. There's so many little plays that you can do with it. It's so many things. The one thing that annoys me about this card is mainly that the way that the game is structured, okay? There's like protocols and sort of logic that you can put into it. Like for instance, you know for a fact that when you start your turn, you can't have more than 6 cards in hand, okay? So that means that the instantly, without, doesn't matter what deck you play, your deck always has the potential to do a 6-card sort of play. You can do your turn and you can spend all 6 cards in hand. You know, it's possible, you can easily do that, but you don't do that because you want to get the most out of all of your cards so that you don't end up drawing top decking, because top decking is an awful thing to do. Okay, so basically you do this thing called, I call it resource management. Okay, I play agents. Okay, so if I want to summon Earth, I add to my hand a Venus, so I go back up to 6 cards in hand. I want to keep my hand as high as possible so that when I drop a Yugioh, I have a really high attack monster that they can't get over. Okay, because I know that there's many decks in this format which can't get over big monsters, okay, unless they have to use up their own resources to stop it. Being able to resource manage really well what makes you a better player than most generally. It means that you can sort of know when to time your cards properly. This card, however, completely takes resource management and chucks it straight out the window. No other card in the entire game, the ban cards, Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity, Labyrinth of Night? No, Mirage of Nightmare. Many different cards in the ban list that give you an advantage, okay, for basically no cost. And that is dumb because any deck can use it and they would use it if they could. However, this card is like those cards, but archetype specific, but on steroids. It basically means that 3 times, up to 3 times per game, per duel, you can essentially spend every single card in your hand, knowing that at the end phase you get all of them back. You get to reload your hand back up to 6, and then when you draw you'll be on 7 cards. And that is the problem I have with this card. It's incredibly powerful, it's so many pluses, but I know that everyone's like, oh, it's so broken because of the pluses and you get to get a priestess from your deck and stuff like that. That's not the problem. The problem is that if I'm fighting against a deck and I'm constantly checking how many cards they've got in hand, how many cards they've got on the field, I'm making a sort of reckoning, thinking, even though I've got less life points, I know that I'm ahead on this because I know that if I make a play, they've got less cards to stop me. Okay, they haven't got that many outs and so on. But this card takes that and just throws it out the window. Okay, if you play with the intention of whittling down this deck's potential and like combos down to the last few cards, they can just get it back in an instant. This card just gives them back. Spellbook of Secrets, that one that brings back from the banished pile, the Spellbook of Cipher, the one that lets you Book of Moon and lets you banish stuff. It's just all those cards, and the Necro buff. There is absolutely no reason why you wouldn't want to run free of this card. And the annoying thing, that's the thing that annoys me, I just feel like there is no skill involved in a deck where you can basically, during the end phase, oh, I've only got 1 card left in hand. Oh yeah, of course, the end phase, isn't it? And then you just go for your deck, you pick up half of it, you pick up half of your 30 card deck and you add it into your hand. How is that skillful? I don't see why that's any skill whatsoever. There's absolutely 0 skill in that. And then you get to put a priestess on the field so you can just banish extra cards in your hand and blow up their stuff, you know. Absolutely no skill. And this card is way more powerful than pretty much like 80% of the cards on the ban list. It pushes this deck way beyond what it's supposed to do. I never would have reckoned that they would have done this. I mean, the thing is, the last thing I want to say is, because of the fact that you have to discard during the end phase, the power creep of this card is immense, to a point where there is only so many few effects at this point that can top this card. Being able to go back to 6 cards in hand per end phase and put a monster on the field for free, The only card that could possibly beat it would be a card that you can summon, or a card that you activate, which lets you special summon 5 monsters from your deck during the end phase or something. So, okay, that would be more stupid, and that would be more generic as well, but that would be pretty stupid. But then the worst possible thing would be just go a card that can't be negated, and then you special summon 5 monsters from your deck for free and no cost, and you can attack, you can activate their effects, you can exceed, you can do whatever. That would be the worst card possible, because you could just OTK in one card. But this card is pretty close to that, okay, because you can just use those spellbooks to special summon Priestess, and you can just use the Necro spellbook to get back monsters from your graveyard. You can just summon a whole bunch of monsters, and you can do it every single turn. I'm going to be sitting there with a Maxi going, it doesn't matter what I do because I get to draw 2 cards and they get 6 in the end phase, and then they special summon and I get another card. That doesn't matter to me unless I can set up a field of like 4 or 5 monsters on my field thinking I've got this game, and then they just special summon 3 Priestess, activate the spellbook of power on all of them, run over all of my stuff. During the end phase they get 6 cards, and I'm stuck having to deal against 7,500 on the board. There is nothing I can do against that, and I've used up my whole hand because I know that they would normally not have any outs to that because they'll be stuck on like 2 cards in hand. But no, they have so many cards, and that is why I hate it. And I don't know why this card exists. I think there is nobody, even spellbook players are looking at this card going, wow, how ridiculous is this card, why does it exist? So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I hope you guys agreed. Share this video because I think it's an important topic. Comment how you feel about this card because it's a lot to talk about. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm almost at 400, so you could be the 400th subscriber, and that would be pretty awesome, so cheers. And yeah, so until next time guys, Thetcglover is out.